I think it's pretty cool that you were looking for validation and then you found that affirmation, you know. And then I also think it's cool when you meet a stranger who like gets the vision,
gets it,
you know, who like really gets it.
Yeah.
And then I think it's also cool, like you're already surrounded by people who are like in your tribe, you know, because that's what I hear you two saying.
Yeah.
And then like you follow up, you know, and you just think about like the power of timing, you know, and then the power of people who have been watching you, and then the power of people who are committed to supporting you no matter where you go because they believe in you. You know, so I'm like, okay, I see what y'all got here. It's strong chemistry.
And we could have got it wrong. Like it could have been like it was just like perfect timing, man. And it was supposed to happen because it was just one off. Like we didn't get it wrong with Mike, Cam, or Chris. Like and I had no idea if they would mesh well together. Right. It was just based off like the vibe, like
culture.
Like right, you know what I'm saying? We all had like similarities, and then to talk about like us being here now, like us living in a house together.
It's exposed.
It's exposed that we're even closer than what we thought we were. So it validated this is absolutely the right team to help solve this problem for us.
And I think a big piece that contributes to that is y'all talked and connected, and then you talked together before bringing on him. Then you talked all three together before bringing on him. It wasn't like one person making all the decisions. You know, you feel the team culture already.
Because I wanted everybody to feel empowered, right? Like I'm obviously the founder, but like I think they all can say like he gives it up, bro. Like I like for everybody to feel like they're like it's a family, and they're definitely like like and I don't want like to ever be the smartest person in the room. So that's kind of like my philosophy. Like I always want to put people in place that can do something 10 times better than I can do it. Yeah. So that's kind of how my mindset has always been, and that's probably come from that NFL or that athletic world, right? Like the best man got to do the job, and so or the best woman, right? They got to do the job, right? So that was kind of my philosophy, and then just having that allowed this team to be that way, and then because I take what they all like, we all come from different backgrounds and different places, and so I take what they and I don't ever act like I know everything, and I'm always willing to learn stuff. So like Mike brought a certain area of expertise that I didn't have. Cam brought another, and then Chris brought that leadership. And he was able to make us like form that strong bond around the group and actually make it a company. So so it's been a really dope experience.
Okay, well, y'all have been planting seeds around what y'all are doing, and I'm like, okay, now I'm ready to ask more questions. But before we get started, let's set the baseline.
Yes.
What is Fansub?
Yeah, so Fansub empowers creators and organizers who are looking to connect and engage with their fans, and monetize their fans via data insights, custom push notifications, and the latest in event management technology. And if you think about the creator economy today, it's exploded due in part to COVID-19. But to effectively grow a fan base, brand, and revenue, creators need tools. They need a tool to create content. They need a tool to monetize. They need a tool for marketing and advertisement. They need a tool for fan engagement.
They need a lot of tools.
Exactly. A lot of tools, man.
Is that money related to all these tools?
Yes, but at the same time, they have a fan base that's expecting this content that to consume.
Yeah.
Right. And so it's like, okay, I have to create this content, but also have to manage all these tools if I really want to grow a business. And that's where Fansub comes into place. So we provide that one tool to allow creators and organizers to grow their fan base, brand, and revenue.
Okay, so you mentioned something. You said COVID really highlighted this idea that we have to do things differently. So it's like, I hear you're saying there are a lot of tools, but even deeper beyond that, like, can you make it clear, like, what is the problem you're trying to solve?
So like, just empowering creators to have more control. And we speak of COVID because at the time, creators could no longer monetize. Like, they could no longer monetize via like events, right? In-person events. And so, like, when I was first, coming up with the vision for Fansub, like it was supposed to be a push notification market and data management platform for creators. And then COVID brought a lack of, their main source of revenue, which was live events. And so that's where the live stream portion came from. And it kind of like took over the company in the beginning, and it actually became the focal point of what Fansub really was. And so the rest of the vision I had kind of added in with that kind of just made this perfect tool, this perfect scenario. And so so it is in fact an event focused creator empowerment tool. Right? And so now we're really focused on, you know, continue to empower creators. Like we understand how hard it is for people to you know, monetize the fan base via or just engage with a fan base via the normal social media channels, right? So Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, right? Like you only get a certain amount of control, and they're not sharing any data with you. Like you just like, I got 10,000 followers. I put a post out, man, I ain't get but like 20 likes or maybe like 100. Right. And so that was a problem that, you know, I was initially pitched on. With each edition of the team member, they validated it the entire time. Like with Mike being a booking agent, and he knowing these people's pain points. Cam obviously being an artist, right? And then Chris kind of validating the business from a business and structural standpoint. Like, so, that's right. So that's how we got here.
Yep. I do know, you know, as someone who's like in business consulting myself, when I think about like innovation in business, I'm always like, innovation is solving problems, you know, and I learned that in corporate. Like innovation is the ability to solve problems differently. But even more than that, when you're building a company, you must be solving a pain point.
You got
these companies that are not solving problems, you know, I hurt for them. You know, for you to say that this idea was birthed out of like an actual problem, you know, that you could empathize with, I'm like, okay, we're getting somewhere. You know.
And then I ain't want to leave the part out about the fan, right? Like I know we talk a lot about like empowering creators, but we wanted to also get like, because of COVID, right? Like if I'm a fan, I don't necessarily want to go sit in your venue, right? And so they kind of validated as well, like, and we wanted to empower them by giving them the option to be like, oh, like, all right, you know, I'm looking at, you know, a ticket. Oh, there's a live stream ticket and an in-person ticket. So that the people that may not necessarily feel comfortable, they got the chance to choose how they wanted to consume that content.
And something else that you said is like, you can have all these followers on, you know, on Facebook, Instagram, or whatever, and you might feel some type of way because you push something out and you only get to 3% of people. But you think about COVID, everyone's sitting in the house looking for something to do, and we don't even see the notifications until 5 days later. You know, you're like, what? I would have went.
So like from an artist standpoint, like one thing that's become clear to me over time is that, look, I can make the best art I can, take the time to pour into it, but there's a whole marketing and brand management perspective on it that you also have to wear that hat too. And that's exhausting. And from the way social media operates, they choke you out via the algorithm, and their business priorities don't align with yours as an independent artist. And so the main thing that we're bringing to the table is a tool that separates from that ecosystem and isn't driven by those same business goals. And so our goal is to empower the creator, not to drive our bottom line via advertisers and stuff like that. That's what separates.
One of the things that I, you know, coming into this business, it's a different industry for me. So I've been diving in deep and learning a lot. And from Cam and Mike, who are just, you know, they've been in the industry, helping me understand, they're like, you know, hey, for YouTube, before you can even utilize some of those, you know, management tools, you have to have 1,000 followers, 1,000 subscribers. And I was like, well, wait a minute. You know, on Fansub, if I have 1,000 followers and I push out, you know, an event, and I get everybody to give me $10, or if I just have 100 followers and everybody gives me $10, I made 1,000 that weekend, you know. And but if I'm trying to push that on YouTube, I wouldn't even have the ability. First, I wouldn't have the ability to push it out, and then secondly, again, to the point of, you know, the algorithms and everything, and they don't give me. I don't have a way to monetize on those platforms. So, but yeah, with Fansub, being able to, you know, have control over your reach to your audience, no matter, you know, whether it's 5, 10, or 100,000 or 1 million. I thought that was powerful just for me understanding that being a pain point for creators today. Like, wait a minute, you know. Yes, I'm creating this content, but then I got to go figure out a way to, you know, amass all these followers and just so I can utilize the tools to allow me to monetize.